All this month, Channel 9 is shining a light on mental health. We consider it a hidden crisis because so often people don't talk about it.
Yeah, when we do, the words that we choose matter. For example, Channel 9 no longer says someone committed suicide. Think about it. People commit crimes and sins.
So instead, we now say died by suicide. Tonight, Channel 9's Glen Counts explains in more detail how words can help or hurt.
Sticks and stones, all of us have heard that, but let's be honest, a lot of us feel that if language bothers you, hey, you should toughen up. Get over it. The problem is, not everybody can do that. We asked 4 people who know the pain and heartache of substance misuse to write down words that open the floodgates of guilt and shame.
My word is drunk.
Dope fiend.
Junkie.
I chose drug addict.
We say misuse instead of abuse because it is more accurate and it is not considered a put down. The words they chose are addict, junkie, dope fiend, and drunk. Of course, there are many more.
Those kinds of hurtful words keep the cycle alive, because what would happen is it would make me feel so bad about myself. What I would have to do is drink to make that pain go away.
There are too many people dying who didn't seek help when they needed it, who were shamed, who were told that they were no good, that they were bad people.
Mary Ferreri, a counselor, says the wrong words make people want to hide to avoid being labeled, so they put off seeking help. People facing mental health challenges also have words they'd like to see stricken.
Mental, loony, cuckoo, crazy, deranged, sick.
Dr. Trasia Black is a counselor with Genesis Project One.
We battle shame. That's one of the biggest things that folks work on in therapy, is how they see themselves. And all those words that people have used, they stick.
The result? People avoid therapy. Now you know what not to say. What should you say? For mental health, never call someone crazy. Say they live with or have been diagnosed with a mental health disorder. Instead of alcoholics and addicts, try people with alcohol or drug problems or dependencies. Instead of former addicts, say person in recovery.
It infuriates me because I'm not a dope fiend.
Taylor Lavallo is in recovery now. She says labels got in the way of her realizing that she needed help.
I never was a dope fiend. I was a person struggling with substance use disorder.
The words we use are so important, Novant Health produced a video about them.
That we are trying to do better at understanding addiction as a mental health disorder and to eliminate the stigma that's so often attached with it.
The pot and the drinking sort of morphed into pills.
Jeff Patak lost his son Ryan to a heroin overdose 3 years ago.
What I've learned since my son passed away back in 2016 is that words matter and education matters.
As in taking the time to educate yourself in what to say.
Decades and decades of what's been instilled in all of our minds has to be shifted.
When we're all trying to give help and hope, we have to remember that words do matter. Glen Counts, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And we hope you'll join us for Charlotte's Hidden Crisis, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. It is a live primetime special connecting those who need help with mental health resources.